Welcome to You Will Know, an introduction to mopeds for the newcomer.
Having trouble starting your bike? We'll have you checked if the kill switch is on. And are you sure you've got gas in the tank? And don't forget about the petcock. Got that turned on, right? Whoa, easy, buddy. Easy. Don't give up just like that. Have you tried the choke? Go ahead, give it a shot now. There you go. The choke is a valve that helps your moped get started. It's a component of the carburetor. Now, the carburetor's job is to take air and fuel and blend them into the mixture that the engine will burn. The choke's job, however, is to change the inner workings of the carburetor. It makes the carburetor produce a mixture with more fuel and less air in it. This mixture is said to be rich, as in rich with fuel. The point of enriching the mixture is to make it easier for the bike to burn at cooler temperatures before the engine has warmed up. In other words, we use the choke to temporarily give the engine an extra dose of gasoline. And this extra dose of gasoline is important because it helps the bike get started. We leave the choke activated while the bike is warming up, and then turn it off once the engine and the gas in it have reached operating temperatures. Moro, that'll well done. Now, you probably won't need the choke every single time you start your bike. Just when you'll need it depends on a couple of factors, foremost of which is temperature. A bike is most likely to require the choke when it's cool or cold out. As we said, the choke helps the engine run while the bike is warming up. So, in cold weather, when the engine is starting off particularly chilly, the more likely it'll be to need the assistance of the choke. It also comes in handy after your bike has been sitting inactive for some time. Even when it's not too cold out, if your bike has been off long enough that the engine has cooled down to ambient temperatures, there's a good chance it might need the choke. One surefire sign that your engine is in need of a choking is if it makes this sound when you're trying to start. Again. This low, descending gurgling is the sound of an engine struggling to ignite an air-fuel mixture with too little fuel in it. You can fix this right up with the choke. Oh. This guy's all bunched up around back. Now, all that being said, keep in mind that every bike is different. You'll find that some demand the choke more often than others, regardless of temperature. It all depends on how a given bike's carburetor happens to be tuned.
Man, I love carburetors.
Now, how you activate the choke depends on your particular model of bike. Most have an activation lever, rod, or button that sticks out from the carburetor. These come in a variety of shapes and sizes. Others have a tiny lever on the handlebar that activates the choke with a cable. Note that you have to hold these down manually while choking. Once you've located the choke activator on your bike, simply pull, push, or press it and commence to start. And now comes the part we've been waiting for. We allow the bike to warm up. A good rule of thumb here is to give the bike about 30 seconds of warm-up time. Then deactivate the choke and see if your bike is ready to ride. You'll know it's ready if the engine stays on without struggling or stuttering. It should sound something like this. Strong, steady, even. And when you rev the engine, it should sound like this. Responsive, aggressive, robust. If you find your bike is ready, leave the choke off and enjoy a ride on your moped. If, on the other hand, when you turn off the choke, the engine starts that descending gurgle. Or if the bike stops running. Or if revving sounds sickly and gravelly. Or the bike stops running. Or if when you go to ride, the bike stops running. Simply reactivate the choke, restart, and give the bike another 30 seconds to warm up. Note, we advise that you don't try starting up with the choke on more than twice in a row. If the bike doesn't start after 2 attempts, it's best to switch the choke off and try 2 more times without it. If the bike still gives you trouble, keep alternating back and forth between on and off every 2 attempts. This technique helps prevent flooding, and it can also help coax a stubborn engine into starting. And lastly, a brief word on turning off the choke. Note that many chokes, like this one, are deactivated by pulling all the way back on the bike's throttle. Others you have to deactivate the old-fashioned way, hand to carburetor. And if you got one of these, you can just let go. Now, if you should forget to turn off your choke, there's no need to panic. Riding with the choke on shouldn't cause any major harm to your bike. Probably the worst case scenario you could encounter is having to clean or replace a spark plug, which is no big deal. More likely, your bike will just perform very poorly. It will struggle and stutter and hold back, possibly leaving you confused, frustrated, resentful. And then, of course, when you least expect it, your bike will probably stall out on you at the first stop you come to.